Hey there, welcome back. I am in a rainy city park today, and I just wanted to take a minute between meetings actually and talk about the topic of whether you should hike alone. As I talk to people about through hiking, one of the most common questions I get is not, did you carry a gun, which is a very common question, but, oh wow, you did it alone. Are you sure that that was safe? And honestly, I felt extremely safe on the trail, and I have no reservations about having hiked alone, and I would totally do it again. Now, with that in mind, I'm talking about the Appalachian Trail. And before I started my hike, I was very wary about hiking alone. I'd heard it was dangerous, and living, in the Atlanta area, North Georgia, there was a very high-profile murder case of a young woman who was killed by a drifter, basically, who actually ended up killing several different people, but she was hiking with her dog on a mountain when she was attacked and very sadly didn't survive. So that has always been in the back of my mind that, wow, there's creepy people out there and it's not safe to hike alone. And it was a little scary for me when I started thinking about hiking the AT, but as I got into the planning process, I realized more and more that just about everybody is hiking alone, and you can make plans to hike with a friend. You could certainly start out with somebody that you like or somebody that you feel is a compatible hiker, but honestly, those relationships very often don't work out, not because you don't get along, but because hiking styles are different. The time that you want to get up in the morning might be different. Maybe you want to be out of there at the crack of dawn or even before dawn. Well, your buddy wants to sleep in till 9 or so and hike at night. Those are just totally different styles, even if your pace of actual hiking is the same. For me, what I found worked best when I had people that I enjoyed, quote, hiking with on the trail, that didn't mean that we were hiking side by side. It meant that we planned together, planned our itinerary together, might decide on a good place to stop for lunch, but pretty much, we would decide where we wanted to go that day and hike out in the morning in our own time and just say, okay, I'm going to meet you here. And if I don't show up, we'd check in during the day if our paths crossed, and we'd say, okay, if I'm not there by this time, that's when you need to start getting worried about me. And that worked well, to have somebody who was looking out for our best interests at the same time that we were hiking our own hike, really. So I find that was a lot better than actually trying to force a start with somebody else. And I did have some friends here in the area that I hiked with and trained with before the AT, and we all picked different start dates. And we met each other on the trail and hiked together a little bit through the AT, but not very much, because we all, through our training hikes, realized that we had different hiking styles. So when it comes to hiking safety, on the AT, I think the numbers now are close to 5,000 people a year that start. And what I would tell people is that, yes, I started alone, but I was never really alone on the trail, because there were so many friends that I just hadn't met yet. And it's easy to make friends on the trail and easy to stay in touch with people, even if you're not really truly hiking together, but to share the hiking experience and to look out for each other. When you're not on the AT and you're going off into the wilderness by yourself, I think things are a little bit different, particularly if you're on a trail that's not well traveled. It would make sense to carry a spot or an inReach or even a personal locator beacon in case you have an emergency, and also to let people know what your itinerary is. So if you have family at home and you can tell them where you're going, where you plan to park, where you plan to hike and camp, that's helpful. In the worst case, you could tell them, okay, I'm going to be gone for 3 days, and if I don't return by X day, then that's when you need to get worried. That's helpful if, in the worst case scenario, something unfortunate should happen. If you don't have somebody at home, you can certainly share that information with a friend. You may not want to post it in real time on sites like Facebook, just for personal security, to let people know that you're out there alone, probably not a good idea. But at the same time, if you can let people know where you're at, that's helpful. You could always check in at a ranger station and let them know what your plans are. And you could leave a copy of your itinerary or notes about what your plans are in your car. Some people recommend putting that on your dash. I don't think that's the safest thing, but certainly if you were to not come back and they found your car and you left notes in your car, just maybe upside down on the seat, something like that, then people would have an idea where you were supposed to be and know how to look for you. And hopefully that won't happen, but every now and then, unfortunately, incidents do occur. So I think being safe is the smartest thing to do. As far as carrying personal protection, I did wear a neck knife for part of the hike, but I ended up sending that home and just keeping a little pocket knife on my person. But I didn't feel like I needed a gun. I certainly didn't anticipate shooting a bear. And in fact, I only met one hiker on the AT that actually admitted to me that he had a gun with him, and he had special ammunition for shooting a bear, and he was a section hiker, and that was a fear of his. So he, as we say, we carry our fears, and he was certainly doing that because his gun was not a lightweight gun. So that's an option, but certainly along the AT, you're going through multiple states, multiple jurisdictions, and gun laws are different. So even if you have a carry permit for one state, you might not in another state, or they might be banned in another state. So if you're going to carry a weapon, you definitely need to know what the laws are so that you don't end up getting in trouble just trying to protect yourself. Bear spray I didn't carry, and I know some people think, oh well, I can use that if somebody attacks me. I honestly didn't want to carry anything that I thought might either one be possibly used against me, or that I might use inappropriately. You know, if I wanted to spray a bear and the wind was going the wrong direction, then that would not be a good situation. So I really went from the attitude of, you know, being smart, taking care of myself, connecting with other people so that they knew where I was, and really just finding friends along the way. So that was my approach to hiking. Everybody has, you know, different background, different experiences that you bring to the table that inform your decisions. But if somebody asks me if it's safe to thru-hike the AT alone, I would say absolutely yes. I actually highly recommend it, and that doesn't mean that you are a sole, you know, lone wolf out there, but that you're doing the journey on your own, you're hiking your own hike, and you're being safe and making sure that people know where you are, where you're supposed to be, so that they can find you if anything bad does happen. So I hope that's helpful, and please make sure that if you're not already subscribed, that you do hit that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified of new videos. I post once a week, and if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover, make sure you put those down in the comments. I read all of them, and I love to hear from you. So thanks, and have a great week.